everybody would just reach out, we could really assist our children and even our adult family members and those in need.
Hold on, I was just checking to see if my father was coming home because I thought that there was a car. So essentially what I'm saying is, anytime we make a CPS investigation, he'll either bribe us or he'll just directly scare us. And two of my brothers are 7 and 8. So there's no chance.
You need to get your brothers help too. You need to get out of here so you can help your brothers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K. Today, we are going to look at a case which does come, as true crime does, with a trigger warning. It's pretty upsetting, but don't worry, in my usual style, I won't be saying anything graphic or anything like that, but it's an outrageous and upsetting case. So I don't know if you've heard of this at all, if you've seen it in the news, but don't worry, I'm going to get you all caught up. So let's start with a little presentation, and then we can dive into a few more details. Okay, so welcome to all patrons, members, moderators, subscribers, lurkers, and also people that are going to subscribe today. Thank you so much for being here. Please like the video and share it so we can get the story out. I think it's a good example of also the power of social media, because one of the victims in this household had called a podcast, and that podcaster has made all the difference in this case and really saved at least 6, but maybe 9 children from further abuse. Okay. Now, 38-year-old Hayim Nissim Cohen, who was born Jeffrey Lujan Vejil in Odessa, Texas. Okay, he's saying so first we start with that. He changed his name in 2010 because of his new faith in Judaism. He just switched from being in the Roman Catholic Church. He grew up as an altar boy, and he decided, you know what? I'm going to be Jewish overnight without really studying any Hebrew. He can't speak Yiddish. He doesn't belong to any congregation whatsoever. He's just an overnight, instant Jewish faith rabbi. He's a fake rabbi, okay? And self-proclaimed rabbi. And then he basically started adopting children. Okay, so his mother, Corina Lujan, 71, said that his family is Mexican American. Now, he became a licensed foster parent when he was in his early 20s after finding out about the number of children in the system. So that all sounds great. I mean, okay, there's a lot of children in the system. They really want homes. They want someone to look after them. That sounds fine until we uncover what in the hell is going on in the story. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to the Glera. You say, why would you need to change your name though? I don't know. I found that this happens sometimes when people use religion as a facade. Sometimes, instead of being for real in it, sometimes they're going to change their name. Yeah. I've seen it happen in cults in South Africa as well, where not only did the leader change his name from an ordinary name to something Jewish as well, but had every child in the school also change their name. So pretty scary, right? So they say it was after he moved to Dallas to work as an office manager that he became attracted to Judaism, and then in 2010 told his mom, yep, I'm changing my name. Now, after he accepted his first 2 children, because he'd applied to adopt children, he told the outlet that he became the go-to for Jewish boys in the system, and that social workers would continue to reach out. So that's pretty sad. When they're like, okay, there's a lot of kids that need to be adopted. This guy is a rabbi. This guy has the same faith as these kids. So this is great, right? And the adoption cycle repeated itself with another son, then a pair of sons, then another son, and then last year a group of 3 more. Okay, so he had 9 children in his care. And yes, he fabricated his illness. In case you're wondering what's the oxygen mask all about, we're going to get into that now. So in April 2019, he was accused of assaulting a Spanish exchange student. He was charged with sexual indecency, but was granted bond and allowed to return home to live with his 9 adopted boys. So at some point, he also offered his home to exchange students. So I don't know if there's going to be more stories that come out, but that's a scary thought. So the thing is, this exchange student was like, what the hell? And I'm not going to read you the little snippet of the court document that I have. It's just really distressing. It's really upsetting to hear. You could just imagine like some creepy dude and what he asked this guy to do and all of that. Okay. So abuse inside the home is believed to have gone on for years. CPS has been called to his home many times, but they could never prove that he was abusing his sons. I feel like this is a huge failure, as we've seen oftentimes on CPS's part. The boys say that they were told to massage his feet and then to perform sex acts on him and on each other. Now, he fabricated his Jewish heritage, saying that he grew up as a Hasidic Jew in New York. So what really sucks is that these kids were totally brainwashed by him, gaslit by him, sexually abused by him, coerced by him. I mean, it must be incredibly confusing for them now to understand what the hell happened here. Now, court records show that he routinely used different names. I don't know, I've only found the one name change, but I don't know where all he's using different names, but it's freaking creepy. He also faked an illness that required him to be on oxygen in a wheelchair. And if you look at his latest court appearance, we'll have a look at that at some point in the stream as well. He's in a wheelchair and he's just acting like he's all just so sick, you know. I mean, come on, bro. He's pulling a Harvey. It's sickening because he's looking for that pity. And I feel like that's how he manipulates people. And I mean, to think what he did to all these boys, it's terrible. Okay. But it gets crazier, the story. So he created social media accounts for the family. And they've gained popularity on TikTok with over 200K followers, showing off their Hasidic Jewish life, their routines, how they do their hair, you know, with like the 2 curls on the side, how they do that, how they eat, what their routines are, teaching people about their faith. You know, the kids, it appears that they were really happy and they were running it, but obviously not, you know, obviously not. This is terrible. So Harris County prosecutor Janet Oswald said that behind the happy facade lay excessive abuse, which was only masked by religion and social media. So we've seen cases like this before where people adopt children and then they use them in many ways. 1, sexual abuse or whatever abuse they're inflicting on them. And 2, for clout, for like literal social media, happy family clout to get popular on TikTok, on YouTube. This guy has YouTube accounts, TikTok accounts, Snapchat, Cash App, and a Facebook and Instagram for each child. Okay? Damn. She said the children remained locked in a room for most of the day, and he let them out around 4 p.m. and at times forced them to perform sexual acts. A lot of the time on each other, which is even more disturbing. If they refused to comply, then the one son said that the father would pepper spray them. So he's all creepy in his wheelchair. He's so sick, you know, he can't even in that other charge, like go to court. He just like he got bond and everyone feels sorry for him. But meanwhile, at home, as we heard from his recent hearing, which I'll show you, they said that there's video evidence of him. One of the kids I think it's one of the kids' phones, from what I'm understanding from there, had filmed him standing up, breathing just fine, and beating the crap out of one of the kids with a belt, you know, disciplining them when they don't do what he wants them to do. Oh, just makes me angry. I hope you can hear it. I'm like, oh man. So it's just horrendous, and if you see some of his videos on his YouTube channel, my word, it is really a facade. You won't look at him and be like, yeah, no, this guy's up to something. It's sus. It's a red flag. We've got to call this in. You just don't know what's going on behind those closed doors, right? Okay. Let's see what someone says here. The curls are pious. Yes, thank you. Okay, so yes, the Glera says that dude needs to be thrown under the prison with the worst offenders there. Right? Now, a 17-year-old boy living in the home, one of the adopted sons, actually called a podcast, and that's what makes the story so freaking amazing. He called a podcast called Blind Skinned Beauty, asking for help, saying, okay, so this is my situation and this is what's happening. So I want to play that for you, little bits. I've pieced together little bits of it, and then I will link in the description box the link to the full episode. Which you can listen to the whole thing yourself. I would actually recommend it, so you get the whole picture. But I've put in important bits, so we can't listen to the 45-minute thing here together now. But I put in important bits so we can listen to it together. But he called in to this podcast, and the podcaster actually took the time to listen to this and say, "Sorry, what?" At first they thought this guy's lying. Or like, who is this? Is it a prankster? What is it? And they listened, and I say they because it's the podcast host and a friend of hers who's actually a cop who also then jumped on the call. And they're like, what is going on here? And they listened, and they were shocked. And they then called the police, and they were able to trace the caller back to an IP address and eventually his cell phone, that 17-year-old cell phone. So then that's how they caught the guy. A search warrant was executed on the 10th of February this year. That's not long ago, you guys. That's like a month ago. Search warrant executed there. This man was arrested. They have a phone and have evidence of him, abusing the kids, like I say, with ordinary discipline, but given the context of everything, the belt thing and the pepper spray and all that, and then interviewing the kids separately, they were like, holy crap, this guy has been abusing all these kids. It's terrible. And then acting all sickly, Oh, it just gets me going. So he's facing 12 charges in connection to these alleged crimes. 6 of his children, who are still minors, have now been taken to foster care. They are 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And that podcaster is trying to adopt many of them, as many as she can, which I think is amazing as well. Now listen to this. His eldest son, who's now 22, he's in denial. He says, my father never abused me. He's a great father that would never hurt any of us. If I saw anything out of order by anyone, I would have done everything in my power to protect my brothers. And that same eldest son, is saying, no, man, the others, they've got cognitive issues. I mean, they might from all the trauma, you know what I mean? And from being in CPS as very young kids and being adopted by this dude. I mean, it's a very terrible story. But he's like, no, the one guy's got multiple personality disorder, which, hello, could you be educated, bro? If you want to throw out labels, it's called dissociative identity disorder since like the 90s. Okay. So he says the one guy's got DID. Okay. That's a severe trauma disorder. So still, what's the trauma? Let's get to that. And he's saying, no, man, they're all on medication. They don't know what they're talking about. He's a great dad. He's an amazing dad. All right. And his mother says, as in this guy's mother says, my son is innocent of the charges against him. He loves his children. He would never hurt them in any way. They were, for the most part, a big, happy family who got along. This is all a big, bad dream. I'm still in shock by it all. Okay, I'm going to play you the podcast episode in a moment. I just can't believe all of this. Okay, so let's play, it's this one. Okay, so I've chosen specific clips. It's not too distressing. Listen to the whole thing if you want the full, little bit more details and things like that. The podcast is called Blind Skin Beauty on YouTube. And let's hear what the 17-year-old who used a burner phone. He literally used a burner phone, and it almost reminds me of, remember that case with the Turpin family? I've never covered it on my channel, but I followed it. But the point is, if someone in the house is like, I need to get hold of a phone. Okay, so he got a burner phone, and he would download apps and then quickly like watch a bit of YouTube or watch a podcast or do something. And he was trying to find ways to reach out. And he was watching this podcast. And I say watching, but I do I can't gather exactly where. Was it on Twitch? Was it on Instagram? Was it on YouTube? It sounds like it could have been like on a YouTube live stream, because at first they were typing. They were typing things in the chat. Then they joined in as if one sends a link and they join in like a caller, like a call in, and then started saying things. So we're going to listen to some clips of that, okay? Yes. Okay, so listen to this.
No, but technically, when it comes to the CPS investigations, there has been 8 launched and all of them were acquitted. So I'll make this slightly even worse. Since we were little, seeing that we came from CPS, we had very obvious cognitive issues, specifically 3 of my brothers, and they happen to all take psychotic medications. You can see where this is rolling. He has a doctor who was friends with him, and I'm speaking of my father now, and he essentially had us all placed on medication. So hold on, I was just checking to see if my father was coming home because I thought that there was a car. So essentially,
already there, man. I feel so sad for him. He's like, oh, okay, wait, I've just got to wait. I'm hearing a noise. Okay, no, it's not my dad. And even when he needs to jump off this podcast, like, I gotta go, because this phone takes long for me to delete my apps. I have to delete the apps. It's so sad.
what I'm saying is, anytime we make a CPS investigation, he'll either bribe us or he'll just directly scare us. And 2 of my brothers are 7 and 8, so there is no chance. We do not have cameras inside. I'm smart enough to take a burner phone, which is what this phone is operating through. It's just Wi-Fi. My dad doesn't even know I have it. But anyway, I'm about to be 18, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I just want.
And by the way, he was counting down. I mean, the minutes. If you listen to the full episode, the minutes, the days, hours, and minutes left until he turns 18. It's so sad.
I just wanted to live after this.
I'm not worried more of where I'll go, because I already know that I'm traveling to Israel, because my father wants me to go and stay in a place where he could take control, basically, of my income and stuff, which is already what he does. I have a driver's license, which is valid, and the thing about it is I'm not allowed to have it.
Let me ask you a question. Where are you at right now?
I do want to say they were homeschooled. This guy controlled them completely. The other day we had Laura Richards on the show, which was incredible. And we talked there about coercive control. And I feel like that applies here in this case too, because this guy had brainwashed all these kids so much, abused them, and controlled them. He was homeschooling all of them. That's the problem. There's very few people that could actually interact with them and see any red flags or anything, because he's like, don't worry, you'll be homeschooled right here. So, yes.
Can you just leave and go somewhere? Like, if I gave you a safe place to go, will you be able to go there?
Not entirely sure.
Why?
Because all of my brothers are here. Well, I didn't go to the police. I go because I was put into the program by my father. It's just another addition as to he can say, my kids are perfectly okay, which has been done before.
No. This is different. If you go to the police, they will do something.
So just listen to the fear that he has there. You can hear how the abuser is manipulating him, because CPS had been there 8 times. And most of the times the cases were thrown out because all the kids, it was basically one of them was like, okay, we're being abused. And all the others would say, no, we're not. We're not. This guy's got mental problems. This kid, we're fine. We're a very happy family. And you can see it on their social media too. 200,000 followers, super happy, doing TikTok dances, showing off their life. It doesn't look like a red flag. It looks like a happy family. Someone even went to the home and toured the home at some point. I can't remember for what. In all my research, I was like, wait, what? They went there. They said it's a very nice family. All of them so close, And yet this is what he manipulated them with. Well, now you've told the police that I didn't abuse you. So good luck trying to tell them now and turning that around that I actually did, because they won't believe you. You know how it goes. A lot of you know how it goes when they say, I'd say the abuser would be like, no one's going to believe you. And even worse in this case.
If they have
will.
information.
That
Oh, if you guys are wondering, remember I said earlier, the podcast host is this lady. It's her podcast, Blind Skin Beauty. And the guy that's talking is a police officer who's her friend. So she dialed him in too to help out, because she's like, oh my word, this sounds really hectic. So let me get my friend, Ralphie, I think is his name. He's a police officer and he's trying to give this kid advice of like, wait. What is going on there? What do you mean? And, started asking questions and really, really helped.
you are the
Or the
information.
information, babes.
Wouldn't they need a warrant for anything?
No.
And they will keep you safe. They're not going to let you go back to that house, and they're going to pull every kid out of there, which needs to happen. And he needs to be in jail. You need.
So I give PC.
What?
Yes, they give you PC. Like they're going to put you inside of a placement so that you can be safe. Yes.
There was 8 full investigations done.
Okay, but
not once have they removed us.
listen to this though, because
No.
you're saying there was 8. Okay, because now this is the thing, and you're saying that because I just want to make sure that everything. So who told them that people were being touched? Was it somebody else told them that? Why was there an investigation that happened if you never told them anything?
My other brothers have, one of them ran away and was returned by the constable. And then the constable stated that there was allegations made, and CPS came the next day. They took us to the child assessment center, where not just me, but 7 of my other brothers testified against the word of my other brother, which essentially ruled it out. They also decided that he was not cognitive mind, so they gave him even more medications. I have him basically semi-scared of.
I mean, don't you guys think it's amazing that he managed to call into this podcast somehow? And the podcast host and the cop guy are in different states. And they were like, where are you calling from? Like, what state are you in? And at first he didn't want to say. And later he's like, okay, I'm in Texas. And they're like, okay, we need to get you some help, So that is, in my opinion, the power of social media. It doesn't matter which state you're in, which country you're in. You could help save lives. You could help someone. So I think it's just amazing.
Me, at least for the instance of, I have sort of kind of gotten caught telling other people online, and he got terrified because I told him the truth. I have physical evidence, but the thing is, his lawyer stated that any evidence presented past the point of his trial, which has already passed, would be ruled nullified based on you can't try a person twice for the same crime. I also am afraid of retaliation. Like, if I'm getting pinned for retaliation because...
Right? Sounds just how victims talk. He's afraid of retaliation. He's really scared, but doing his best to speak out so that he can save himself and his brothers. So Anna says, no, mother, the creep is single. Yeah, he's single, adopted all these boys, said that one day he hopes to have his own biological children. I mean, thank goodness so far. I hope he doesn't get out of jail, even though he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But they're asking for no bond. So that's good as well, based on his previous charges, his behavior, and what all these kids are saying. But for anyone asking, I saw someone asking earlier, he wasn't, I want to know where my fellow Jewish community is. I'm not too sure what you mean by that question, but what I want to say is he's not part of a Jewish community. He just decided in his own mind, I'm Jewish overnight, and I'm going to change my name. And now I'm suddenly just studying Judaism. I'm going to adopt kids and I'm going to teach them all about it as well, even though he can't speak any Hebrew. He doesn't know any Yiddish. He doesn't know anything really. He can't even, I saw a lady on TikTok who is Jewish and said, you can't just become a Cohen. That in itself is an insult to Judaism. You can't just say, okay, now I'm just going to become one. So he legally was able to change his name. There was some paperwork he did, but it's offensive what he did. So he's not a real rabbi, just so that you guys know. He was faking being a rabbi, faking obviously being a good dad, seems like, and his intentions to adopt kids, and also faking his physical illnesses. They don't exist.
One of the major things that happens here that I don't even want to say it, I'll type it. Basically, he's going to just say, no, it was you.
You're
I don't
basically
care what
you're basically getting manipulated if you keep continuing to be manipulated
What
and
he makes us with each other, he makes y'all have sex with each other, you and your brothers.
Yes.
The live is
Oh, no. My brothers weren't the ones that were doing it. It was my father making us.
yeah. That
Okay, so my question is, what about the law that states, if you lie to CPS, you are and willingly testify in a illegal manner, you are committing a crime. Essentially, like, if I know it's happening and I'm too scared to say it's happening, and I tell the judge it never happened, and then I come back years later and say, oh, for sure it was happening, and I've got evidence to prove it, am I going to jail? If I present evidence years later saying that, oh, I was a child victim here, they won't look at it through the scope of you were a child, that you would just be an adult because you're coming back as an adult.
Now, my question to you is this: after whatever trial y'all had, did it happen again?
It happened multiple times. This has been going on since I
Okay,
was
okay,
11.
okay, okay.
Shame. Oh my word. He said it happened multiple times. This has been going on since I was 11. And then the police officer who's on the line there, that you can hear his voice, is trying to help him say, well, it's not like double jeopardy or something. It's not like there was a crime and now you said it didn't happen and now you're reporting on the same crime, coming back and saying, well, it did actually. It's new. It keeps going on. He keeps on abusing the kids, So each time is a new case, which was very encouraging. And so thankfully, with this story, yes, the guy was arrested. He was arrested. He appeared in court recently as well. So we'll see how all of that goes. Barbara says, does the father have a job or is childcare his source of income? I actually don't know that. I think his source of income is the childcare and all the social media stuff, because he's got Venmo and Cash App and he's basically using the kids to rake that in as well. I'm not sure how much he makes from that, but he's for sure marketing that everywhere, right? Oh my word. Yes. And Jill says, OMG, so many years of that horror.
Okay, this is what I'm telling you. Anything after the trial is new. So you're not presenting old evidence or whatever. It's all new.
okay. So give me your write your social media inside of this chat really quickly, because if I don't hear from you tomorrow, God willing, I'm gonna take matters into my own hand, because I don't like the way this is sounding, babes. I need you. You need to be safe, and not only you, but you have other kids inside of there that's being hurt.
Okay, so I will make sure to link the full episode for you in the description box after this episode so that you can listen to the full podcast episode. It is by that podcaster that I showed you there. Sorry. I'm going to put it here. Blind Skinned Beauty. So I'll link the episode there for you and everything we're talking about here today. This happened in Texas, you guys. So yes, we can actually do a very quick map time. So let's do this one. Okay, so it's in this house right here. I mean, of course, you can't judge a house by its cover, but by all appearances, happy house. They've got the basketball hoops. They got everything in Texas. And I mean, this guy claims to have grown up in New York as part of the Jewish community, which he did not. He's born in Texas. He's Mexican American, born in Texas. His whole life is a lie. His entire life is a lie. And that's not even the worst of it. His entire life is a lie, and all of it's a facade to hide his freaking creepy abuse on kids that he's adopting. And then he puts it out there like he's just such an empath, you know. You should see. If you want to be infuriated, watch his YouTube channel, which is also called Our Unique Family. Oh my word, I got so mad because, like, you know what? It's so important is the home where kids grow up. It's so important for their mental health. You know, mental health awareness. I'm like, sorry, what? What? So, yes, I've been digging, you guys, to bring you all this. So, this is the house where they all lived. 9 kids that he'd adopted, him and 9 kids. And Duffield Lane in Texas. So, I'll just zoom out for you. There's not much else to show you, really. I just wanted to show you where it is. Hello. There. We don't like this view. We like the satellite view. Okay, there we go. Why does it do that? Let's go. I wonder if there's a CPS close by, even, or police, you know, like a police station. They said they're 3 miles or something away. Let's just see. No, 15 miles. But they said there's like 3 miles away is a police station. And the kid who called in was so scared because he's like, well, we know the sergeant, we know the police, but then they haven't helped us because, you see, every time that the CPS has been there or the cops are involved in anything, then the kids are so scared. They're so terrified that they just say, nope, nothing's happening here, nothing to see. All right? Okay. D Street Media says report the YouTube channel that promotes that. You mean their YouTube channel? What are we talking about? Oh, yes. Grumpy Bunny says, I'm trying to figure out how he has a Foley catheter with false illnesses. Well, we'll look at that. Hold on. Okay, so this is the house. You've seen it? Look at him here. This one. We've got the Grizzly boost on as well.
We had a chance to visit with Mr. Cohen. I wanted to warn the court that Mr. Cohen is complaining of being ill this morning. Just wanted to let the court know. We're going to, of course, proceed, but I just wanted the court to know that he had mentioned of that. All right? Thank you.
And Judge, I'd also like to invoke the rule.
Look at him. Barbara Jean says, is he recording these sexual acts of the children? That is a scary thought, because if that's an income source, can you imagine that? I'm actually scared to think about it. I'm scared to think about what his income sources even are.
Also, if the applicant has any he's going to testify in this hearing and ask that they step out of the courtroom while other people testify.
I'm going to link this full Law and Crime Network hearing for you. This guy was only arrested on February 10th, 2023, so it's not that long ago. So this was one of his hearings where they're talking about the charges that he's facing. They talk about a video as well that was found on a phone, which must be one of the kids' phones, where he is disciplining the kid, standing up, breathing fine, and hitting the kid with the belt, you know, and just all over the kid's trying to defend himself and all of that. So that's just terrible. But I wanted to show you that, and then just look at him here. Now, why does he have the catheter like this? Let me show you a comment here quickly. If we look at the comments section, this lady made a good point. She said they should absolutely not allow him to have his Foley catheter bag inside to try to play on sympathy and pity. That's what my answer would be of why is he doing that? To garner sympathy. We saw it with the Golden State Killer. We saw it with Harvey W. Can't say that full name. YouTube doesn't like it. Can you believe it? But, you know, these like freaking creepy predators, they do this weird sympathy thing when they go to court. Try to sway the public and the courts and everything. It's gross. So there he's sitting with his freaking catheter out like that. And I mean, his hairy cleavage that he later tucks in as well. Gross. So, okay, sorry. Let me read this comment. They should absolutely not allow him to have his Foley catheter bag inside to try and play on sympathy and pity. It has to be below the kidneys, and they have dignity bags for them. I'm appalled that they're allowing this. It should be hanging under the wheelchair with a bag over it. Above the kidneys, for someone in custody with medical treatment, they know better and should advise his counsel how to properly have it. Yes, you guys are like, OMG, those eyes. I'm going to read you an article or two as well, just to full circle tell you the story. Look at him, look at him. I don't know what's going on his face either. I don't know if that's like a rash or what the marks are. I have no idea. Let's see where they zoom into him. The guy drinking water.
The simplest thing ever when you have to sit in a desk.
Oh, and trust me, if you look at his YouTube channel and his Instagram and TikTok and everything, yeah, no, he's full-blown acting over here, in my opinion, okay? Now he's all frail. He's all frail now. This is like his go-to when he's cornered, you know?
It's a matter of unlocking the phone. There's a device that connects to your computer called the puck, and it's part of the software package that provides all drivers a way for the computer to communicate.
I think we want to see this now. Stefan.
You said 19 to 22?
Yes, Judge.
He's so sick.
No objection, Your Honor.
With no objection, then 19 to 22 will be there as evidence of exhibits 19 to 22.
Judge, if you don't mind, for me standing up with him while we talk about these, and then I'll present them to you. So, State's Exhibit 19.
Good point, April. You say it's from the oxygen mask he usually wears, not a rash. Interesting. Okay.
If you can explain to the court what State's Exhibit 19 is.
This is a preliminary
I want to show you something.
preliminary extraction report from
The version was provided to defense counsel prior to this hearing today.
I think it's here. Look at him. In full sight. Look at him. He's there with his catheter. Oh, my word. No. Yes, he's filthy.
Yes, sir.
The knowledge seed database and the other, could you name it for me again?
It's are you referring to where I found the video?
No, you said that you work with the knowledge.
And M says, where's the law and crime link? I'm going to put it in the description box, all the links to the podcast, to this episode, to all the articles and everything afterwards. I always do that for you guys, and I always chapter out and timestamp everything for you.
Seed database and which other component?
Man. Look at him.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Okay, so let me ask you a different way. The knowledge seed database lets us know location or.
Never mind. I was trying to find a specific scene where he's like, he starts feeling so self-conscious about his hairy cleavage that he's like, oh my word, let me just tuck myself in here. It just looks so ridiculous. I just can't find it right now. Is it here? I thought it was here. Anyway, gross. Okay, so let's read this one quickly. Whoa, that's so white right now. Okay, sorry for the bright screen. Okay, exclusive. Okay, he's a great father that would never hurt any of us. Son of Orthodox rabbi. Look at rabbi, not real rabbi. Accused of essaying adopted boys, defends him as it's revealed he's Mexican American and grew up as an altar boy in the Catholic Church before converting to Judaism. The Orthodox rabbi accused of essaying his adoptive sons grew up as an altar boy in the Roman Catholic Church. DailyMail.com can reveal. And now Hayim Nissim Cohen's family is rushing to support him as he faces the possibility of spending much of the rest of his life behind bars. My father never abused me, Cohen's eldest son, Avshalom, told the Daily Mail. He's a great father that would never hurt any of us. If I saw anything out of order by anyone, I would have done everything in my power to protect my brothers. So thankfully, the Daily Mail has blurred out all the kids' faces, so that's great. Then I can just show you the article. Sorry, I'm just listening. Is that a bike going past? Or sorry for background noise. Grumpy Bunny, thank you so much. You say this is an act. I watch their YouTube videos. Right? You also watch them. It's a total act that he's got going on there. Oh, my word. So they say, Avshalom, 22, claims the brother who's making the allegations suffers from multiple personality disorder, which, it's called dissociative identity disorder, or DID these days. Okay, autism, and has cognitive issues. Let's just like slap on some labels on a victim and just completely say, no, let's victim blame, shall we? That's what it seems like is happening there. This is the eldest son. It sucks because he's in total denial of, what his dad is being accused of. He said last week he went to family court in Houston in a bid to get custody of his 6 younger brothers. Right now, they are living at some CPS, Child Protective Service facility. I haven't spoken with them since they were removed from our house. I'm hoping in the near future I'll have them back home. Cohen, 38, who found fame on TikTok with posts about his 9 adopted sons, was arrested last month in Houston after his 17-year-old son claimed on a podcast last month that he had sexually abused him since he was 11 years old and that his other adopted brothers were also abused. He's now facing 12 charges of abuse allegedly carried out on 6 of his 9 sons. I think the other 2 are way too young, maybe. Is that why he left them alone for now? And then maybe the elder son, maybe he didn't abuse him. I don't know. The YouTube channel is called Our Unique Family. All of their social media profiles across the board are Our Unique Family. And they also made one called Jew Talk, which sucks because they're not even, he's not truly Jewish. He just made it up in his head and changed his name. Okay, with nearly 200,000 followers on the Our Unique Family TikTok account, so you can go look at that as well. I'm not going to show it because there's way too much content of the kids. I don't want to show them. They're victims in this, but I will link everything for you so that you can go and check it out if you want to in your own time. But if you go look at our_unique_family on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, you will find it. Kathleen R says the judge is not having any of it. I know, right? Yes. And they're asking for no bond because the last time he got bond, well, then he just went back home to carry on abusing the kids. Okay, so with nearly 200,000 followers on the Our Unique Family TikTok account, Cohen and his children regularly posted about their Orthodox Hasidic life, singing, dancing, and eating as a family. But Harris County prosecutor Jana Oswald said that behind that happy facade lay excessive abuse, which was only masked by religion and social media. Like he used religion and social media to hide what he was really doing. And if that wasn't enough of a barrier for him, then just make up some terminal illnesses, shall we? Be on oxygen, be in a wheelchair, not coping. Okay. She said the children remained locked in a room for most of the day and letting them out around 4 p.m. at times, forcing them to perform sex acts. If they refused to comply, the son said his father would pepper spray him. Court papers detail how the allegations came to light when a boy anonymously called into a podcast called The Blind Skin Beauty and accused Cohen of sexual assault on him and his brothers. Podcasters called the police and they were able to trace the caller back to an IP address and eventually his cell phone. The 17-year-old anonymous caller, that's what we heard earlier. I'm just going over it as a recap again. So it's all the story. You got it all right. Okay. The 17-year-old anonymous caller turned out to be one of Cohen's sons. Police interviewed him and he said he's been abused by Cohen since he was a child. He also alleged that his other siblings have also been abused by Cohen. Cohen grew up in Odessa, Texas as Jeffrey Vejil. His mother, Karina Lujan, 71, told the Daily Mail the family is Mexican-American. She said he was an altar boy at a church in Odessa and then started exploring other Christian faiths. It was after he moved to Dallas to work as an office manager that he became attracted to Judaism. He came to us one day and said, I'm going to convert to Judaism. Robin Ridge, thank you so much. How long has this been going on? Why is this adoption services not investigating him before allowing him to adopt so many boys? I know, right? It sounds like it's been going on for years. I mean, at least 6 years, but possibly since like 2010, it sucks. So I was shocked at first, but at one point in his life, he wanted to become a priest. But then I thought it was beautiful. In 2010, he filed for a name change and cited his faith conversion as a reason. So this is a younger picture of him. This is a booking photo form from 2006 when he was arrested for writing a bad check. So he's got a bit of a rap sheet going there. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Grumpy Bunny says you can convert to Judaism, but he was not a convert. He was a predator looking for an avenue to assault with a cover. Absolutely. So here's his mom as well. That's the podcast as well. A few years later, Lujan said he moved to Houston, and around that time, he started to adopt young boys. I asked him why he wants to adopt so many kids, and he told me, Mom, I want to help kids that nobody wanted. Doesn't it make you mad? Lujan said his goal was to eventually move to Israel with the boys when they got older. She said she's spoken to him a few times in jail, but has difficulty fully understanding him. I'm hard of hearing and he can't speak too loud because of his medical issues. Oh my word. She said that he has water in his lungs and she thinks that he may have serious health problems. He's not in very good health, she said. Hayim told me, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. I didn't do anything. Luan, that's his mom, insisted her son has done nothing wrong. My son is innocent of the charges against him, she declared. He loves his children. He would never hurt them in any way. They were, for the most part, a big, happy family who got along. What? So you're telling me that 6 out of 9 kids are lying? Is that what this mother's saying? Do not enable your creepy boy. April, thank you so much. So sad what these kids have gone through. So much in life has failed them when they definitely needed help. This guy is disgusting. Yes. Wow. So she says this is all a big, bad dream. I'm still in shock by it all. She said the boy who made the claims is now 18 and suffers from. So she's also saying it. She says the boy who made the claims also suffers from DID and has cognitive issues. He can change his personality in a split second and go from talking in Chinese to doing high kicks with his legs in the air. He has some problems, and I think he's convinced his younger siblings into believing they were molested by their father. Bro, you're going to say that this teenager is the villain, the influencer. He's now been spreading all the stuff, telling all the others he's abused us, right? Right? Let's tell everyone. What? I think that's crazy. My word. And also to say, yeah, he could change his personality in a split second. 1 minute he's talking in Chinese and doing, and then and then the next minute doing high kicks with his legs in the air. Firstly, doing high kicks is not a personality switch, just so you know, lady. But secondly, hello, they traumatized. Could you maybe not do this? But she added, if this alleged sexual abuse had gone on for years as claimed by the prosecutor, why didn't any therapist notice this or know about it, huh? Yeah, why not? Because they were scared to talk about it. Therapists aren't mind readers. Anyway, several of the kids see a therapist on a weekly basis. One would think the therapist could see there were signs of abuse, but there weren't any. Hello, dissociation, maybe. Hello, trying to be like, oh no, everything's fine. You know? Wow. Okay, Cohen's brother Eric Vejil agreed. If he sexually assaulted the young boys, as prosecutors claim, then they should have them medically examined. I'm sure the doctors could tell on a young boy whether or not there has been any sexual assault or damage to them. What? Yeah, exactly. Lex says, one of my daughters does cartwheels all over the house. It's called being a kid. Well, according to this mother, it's suddenly like, ooh, they've got multiple personalities. I mean, I get so mad at the enabling, at the victim blaming. I get so mad. Kathleen says, how can everyone have DID? It's a very rare trauma disorder. It is a very rare trauma disorder. Like, what the freak, lady, this woman? Okay, the family last saw Cohen at Thanksgiving when they went to Houston to see him. He was acting like he always does. Nothing was different about him. We all sat down together for Thanksgiving and had a great meal and spent time with my grandchildren. But Cohen has been in trouble before. He was arrested in 2019 on an indecency with a child charge involving a then 16-year-old foreign exchange student from Spain. Did that also not hit them in on the head? Like, hello, he's already been charged for abusing an exchange student. Did he also make it up? Does he also have DID? Okay, according to court papers, the boy got into trouble for shoplifting socks at a Walmart. Cohen told the boy he needed to make him happy. Now, okay, here we go with a trigger warning. This is what I didn't want to read out, but they're going to say it in a sentence here. The boy then touched Cohen's chest and stomach area and noticed him getting aroused while making noises. Ew. Cohen then grabbed the boy's hand and placed it on his you-know-what. His micronut. Okay, part of his bond conditions prevented him from going within 1,000 feet of places where children may be. You see that? But you know what? He was still permitted to be around his own adopted children. I added the word adopted because it's not his own children, but you know what I mean. Okay, criminal charges are still pending in this case as a civil lawsuit was filed against Cohen for the same incident. And in 2006, according to court records, he was arrested in Midland, Texas for writing a $357 check when he didn't have the funds in his account. Charges were dropped after he paid the full amount. Now, do you want to see him talk? Because here we go.
The video you're about to watch is extremely important.
Oh, my bad. Up with the sound.
Cultural differences, sex. The video you're about to watch is extremely important. More often than not, individuals are judged based on ethnicity, cultural differences, sexual orientation, and frankly, anything that's out of the ordinary
No, play that.
according to what most people believe
Sorry, when I put a comment on the screen, it pauses it. Weird.
a family should be. There isn't a week that goes by that our family doesn't receive some form of discrimination similar to what's in this video. Although in our case, it's often geared towards cultural differences than it is ethnicity. Either way, it truly breaks my heart to think that so many have a disregard or simply a misunderstanding of what others' beliefs or persons are.
We'll leave that one there. We can look at another one. It's a little bit soft. I need to boost that actually. So Hypo says, yes, a Hasidic Jew having a Thanksgiving dinner and birthdays and everything. He celebrates all of the things, you know? And I'm like, wait, what? What is going on? Yeah. Chris Putnam says, what's with the glitter? I know, right? My word. Okay, so let's see. Wait, let me quickly make sure. I just want to show you this one Instagram. I want to find another one of him talking. Oh no, here we go.
Upon us, and I can already feel the joy descending from the heavens. This year we're gonna walk into that sukkah with an open heart and receive all the joy that is descending. We're only gonna find the good things that are happening amongst the world, and after sukkahs we're gonna walk out with so much simcha that it's gonna take us through a year of nothing but joy and happiness. Emeretz Hashem, from our mouth to Hashem's ears. All right, guys, I'm going to take you to see the sukkah now. All right.
I'm taking that off the screen because now it's going to show the kids. Oh my gosh, just going for this guy.
I hope all of you are having an awesome and amazing day. Today I want to talk to you guys about something so vital that affects our children and the future of Judaism, and really that's something that is happening right now as we speak. And that's the big J, judgment. Okay, so what is this rant all about? Well, in the last few years, I've had the amazing opportunity to work with Jews of all walks, from Reform to Orthodox, Hasidic, every walk you can imagine. And often I get asked, why would you do that? What would entice you to even reach out into that direction? My thought process was very different a few years ago. I would never do such a thing, but now I'm so thankful I did. I realized the importance of...
Oh my word. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. So he says his voice keeps changing. Marion says his mom must be in denial. And Truth Seeker said 200,000 followers. I wouldn't ever listen to this guy. Remember, the kids got the 200,000 followers. He makes the kids dance. I don't know if he's filming it or who's filming it or if it's tripod or what, but they doing TikTok dances. They showing off the lifestyle. What he's teaching them, they're imparting on TikTok. And he's mostly got the YouTube channel. It looks like, but he does. Let me just quickly see if the link is here. Hold on one second. I want to go up without showing any of the kids. I don't want to show them. So they've got a link tree. And if you look at the link tree, they've got the PO box. They've got Amazon wishlist, our unique family website, another Amazon wishlist, our unique family TikTok, Jewish TikTok, .Jewtalk, family Instagram. Okay. And then an Instagram for each kid and a Facebook as well, plus a YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, and Cash App. Okay. They got all that going on. So he's basically making the kids work for him too. You know what I mean? Oh, my word. It just drives me nuts. Okay. So let's look at this one quickly here. I just want to see, because this was some more details here about the podcaster. Okay. All right. So I just quickly want to see something. Yes, if you guys are asking about if adoption was expensive or what, let's just see. Children's system, mental disorders, special needs. Some agencies will pay people to adopt them. That's the thing. We were talking about, imagine the money that he might be making that he might have been making just from adopting these special needs kids. He might be making coin while making them work and abusing them. It's sickening. So the terrified cry for help of the 17-year-old son of a TikTok famous, well, he's not the one TikTok famous, you know what I mean? But anyway, the TikTok famous rabbi, in inverted commas, now charged with child abuse, can be revealed today in audio recordings of the podcast he called into begging for advice. Hayim Nissim Cohen, 38, is in custody in Texas on 13 counts of sexually abusing at least 6 of his 9 sons. Cohen paraded his sons, all of whom were adopted, on social media and built a brand out of their Orthodox Jewish life. Behind the scenes, he was allegedly essaying his sons and forcing them to perform sex acts on each other. In the podcast, they asked, was he molesting you or actually essaying you, like penetration? And the kid said, I understand the difference, and he was literally essaying us. Okay. It isn't the first time he's been arrested on suspicion of CSA. He was arrested in 2019. We've read about that earlier on with the exchange student, right? On January the 30th, Cohen's petrified son, who was 17 but has since turned 18, called into the Blind Skin Beauty YouTube podcast. It happened multiple times. This has been going on since I was 11. He said in a soft voice as he asked the podcast host for help and advice. He described how his father would force the boys into his room to watch TV at night. You see that? Then it would happen, he said quietly. Look at this freaking guy. These guys, oh man, they could be glad that I'm in the Netherlands. They make me so angry. Like, oh my word, this is just, I can't. It makes me very, very angry. This is the podcast host, by the way. Beautiful lady. We'll link her podcast for you so you can go listen to the full episode. I don't want to say her name wrong. Twaya Pains. He also told the host that he was too scared to call the police because he feared he would be arrested for lying years earlier to protect his father from similar allegations. The boy who told Daily Mail they're not naming him was too frightened to give his exact location or name. Podcast host Tawaya Paynes called CPS and the police, and they were able to trace him. Wasn't that great? So not only did Tawaya Paynes hear the information go, whoa, that's so hectic, but she called CPS and the police, and they were able to track the IP address and find that boy and interview him and then get that search warrant and get those kids out of there. Cohen was arrested afterwards and is now in custody. During his 40-minute call, the 17-year-old with Paynes and her co-host, the boy described some of the abuse but typed out the most heinous accusations. So I think it was like a YouTube live. That's what I'm gathering, because he's there on audio, but also typing things as well. Twitch can also work like that. Maybe Instagram live, things like that, right? He told the host his number one fear was that he would be charged with lying and assisting because he kept it a secret. Shame. Okay, some of his brothers had cognitive issues, he said, which meant they were discredited anytime any accusation was made. Shockingly, he claimed that 8 separate allegations had been made to CPS against their father, but that he beat them every time. CPS has repeatedly refused to confirm how many times Cohen was reported to them before his arrest. The 17-year-old said at least 8 times, okay? The problem here is it's essentially my word versus all of my brothers, he said, explaining that some of them weren't ready to turn on their father because they're scared. When it comes to CPS investigations, there have been 8 launched, but all have been acquitted. Since we were little, seeing as we came from CPS, we had very obvious cognitive issues. He's very self-aware. He's just like, we had very obvious cognitive issues, and this guy is basically a freaking predator, preying on the vulnerable, and then being out there as Mr. Nice Guy. I always tell you guys, when someone's got a very shiny good guy badge on, to me, it's an instant red flag, okay? Specifically, 3, it's just from based on my experiences as well. Specifically, 3 of my brothers, and they happen to all take psychotic medications. You can see where this is rolling, he said. He added that his father has a doctor friend who gave them medication. Anytime we make a CPS investigation, he'll bribe us or scare us. 2 of my brothers are 7 and 8. And you must see, you guys, on the YouTube channel, I had a little bit of it in my intro where they say, to the most amazing father, we thank, God for you. We are so grateful to have a role model like you. But that, you know how it goes if you've been in situations, anything like that, right? Right on Josephine says, my daughter's listening. She said, the more you read of the kids' abuse, the more your voice sounds stressed. Well, yes. I've unfortunately met a couple of predators in my life, which is why I get so worked up as well, because it makes me so mad. Because one will be scared in the situation. And what makes me even more mad is that there's so many of these kids, and even then, he's manipulated them all so much, so creepy, that all of them collectively are scared. It's literally 9 against 1, and they're all like, I don't know. That's scary. Just shows how vulnerable teenage minds can be, or the child's mind, right? Children, teenagers, vulnerable minds. A brain is only fully developed at age 25 on average. Did you guys know that? Oh my word, according to psychologists, right? So I'm about to be 18. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not worried of where I'll go. I'm traveling to Israel, but all of my brothers are here, he said. The boy said that his father took control of any money he received. You see that curse of control right there? And didn't allow any of them to have their own phones. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Isolated completely, huh? Oh my word. Sorry, I'm not actually trying to take you guys to trauma town in my own personal life. But my mother used to say this one line that drove me mad, saying, "We do not speak outside of this house. We do not speak about anything that happens in this house outside of the house." And I'm like, what? There was always like, what? But it scared the crap out of me, you know? So even that, like, I'll take your phone. I'm controlling your money. You don't speak to anyone. And also, haha, the police won't believe you. You see? That's what they say. Anyway, I'm smart enough to use a burner phone. And he is smart. He was so smart to use a burner phone. And he says, he doesn't know I have it, he said. At the end of the call, he said, "Oh my God, my dad just called me. He'll be home soon." After the call, Paynes called CPS to report what he told her. She and her co-host urged him to call the police himself, assuring him that he would not be in trouble for reporting his claims. "My number one fear would be I'd be charged with lying and assisting because I kept it a secret," he said. Speaking to the Daily Mail, Paynes, the podcast host, said she now wants to adopt some of the children herself. I'm sure she wants to adopt all of them, but one only has so much capacity, right? But she's trying. She says, "I was already a foster mom, but I still have some classes that need to be taken," she said. She wants to take in 3 of the 6 who are now in foster care. Since the boy phoned into the podcast, several of his siblings have told police that Cohen was abusing them. It remains unclear why Cohen was allowed to keep the children in his care after being charged with sexual indecency in 2019. That allegation was launched by a Spanish exchange student. He was never convicted and was released from custody on bond. When questioned about why that was the case, a spokesman for the Harris County District Attorney's Office told Daily Mail, "There's generally a pretty high bar for defendant to be held without bond, which is a constitutionally protected right in most circumstances. While prosecutors may make recommendations regarding bail, judges set it." So let's hope. Oh wow, we've got saunas going on. We've got all kinds of weird ads here. Let's hope that this goes well in court, right? I'll be following along just to see what's the next procedure. Like, I don't even know exactly, like, when exactly is his trial. I believe there was a hearing that we watched there. I'm going to put it all in the links and I'll keep you posted on it. I'll make some shorts on it or community posts, or we'll have another video sometime, a live stream to talk about it. I'll be monitoring closely what the heck is happening here. I mean, if you can help out, please do. If you live in Texas, or if you can, you know, I feel so bad for these kids. And I feel so angry about this dude. So we could sit here all day because I could show you the YouTube channel and all kinds of stuff, but I'd rather just not. Let me show you this one video here. I just want to boost it a little bit. Boost it.
Not believe that this.
No, let's turn it off again. Hold on. And please boost it some more. Kind of boost.
Is a coincidence.
And my word, go big screen. Why doesn't it do it now? So annoying. Kathleen R, thank you so much. You say judge asked for monthly status updates. He wants to take the trial ASAP. I did see that they're asking for him to be held without bond and to hurry up. Like, hurry it up. We're not delaying this. Monthly status updates. Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. That is true. Monthly status updates. He wants to take to trial ASAP. So we don't have a trial date yet. I was trying to find exactly what, but let's see in a month from now what happens, and let's follow along and hope that, you know, let's hope he's held accountable. Okay. So, Old Aches and Pain says, "I'm so glad she took him seriously and listened to him." Me too, because at the beginning of the call, you know, I was listening to it and like, at first it sounded like, I guess if someone called in not that I do call-ins, but I'd first be like, what is this? Like, who is saying what? Are they making up stories? Are they pranking? You could hear it was like, sorry, what are you saying? And what happened? And where are you from? And, trying to just like vet his story. And then she realized, oh my word, like this is serious. This is hectic. So proud of her for not only listening, but also then calling CPS and the police, doing something about it, taking that action, checking in on him. And so proud of him for having that burner phone, for finding a way to survive, to get out of there, to, I think also having all his brothers, sometimes if you're alone in a situation, you might feel even like really scared. But if you're compelled, we've seen this, in many cases where there's brothers and sisters involved. In this case, it was all boys that he adopted. And you're just thinking of them as well. You don't want them to go through that anymore. Even though you're going through it too, sometimes it helps if you're like, I'm going to protect them now. Get that burner phone. And someone was asking also, how did his dad call him? Because at the end of the podcast, he said, oh no, my dad just called me. It's probably on the home phone line because his dad didn't know that he had that burner phone. There's probably like a home phone line or something. But man, he was so nervous and just like, oh, wait. This is a car. No, wait. Okay, no, it's not him. And just so nervous while he's trying to get all this information out. So thank you so much for watching that with me today with this case coverage. It's infuriating, honestly. I will put the links to the podcast so that you can listen to the full episode. I'd highly recommend it. The Law and Crime Network one. And then I will put in the link to the family's Instagram account. I'll probably just put in the Linktree one. So you can find everything you want if you do want to check it out. It's very sad to see because they do genuinely look really animated and happy in the TikTok posts that they're making. And so that's also another lesson. Don't believe half of what you see on social media, right? Pink Snoopy Dancer. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Let me just see. Yes, Van says, I want to call in on Grizzly True Crime to say the mods are awesome. Thank you to all the mods. Thank you, members, patrons, everyone. If you didn't know, and if you haven't seen my episode yesterday, where we did a full recap on Gannon Stauch's case, because Letitia Stauch is going to trial. It's set to start on March 20th. Please go check out that episode from yesterday that I made for you. It's in the video section. It wasn't a live stream. So go check that out. And I'm going to, let's see the time. In the next 45 minutes or so, I'll be going live. We're doing a members only live stream to go over her probable cause affidavit and behavior in prison, and then also like letters she's been writing to the judge. My word, we'll probably get a bit snarky because this case already has got me going on the snark. Okay. I'll see you there. Thank you so much. And see you in the next one. Bye.